Hi friends, I know it's been a really long time. Let's see if I can still do this. I'm making a video for something that we started to make a video for last winter. And it was such a disaster because there was like a naked child running through and something was spilled and the dog was stealing cheese off the counter, so it didn't happen. But at the time that I posted the pictures, people were like, wait, you gotta do it because we love these things. So making sausage balls. And why am I making sausage balls? Well, it's the fall. Later today, I'm gonna make applesauce and green tomato salsa and pesto. But I had also taken sausage out of the fridge because this is the kind of thing that you do in advance on the weekend, and then you're golden for like breakfasts and stuff like that. You can stick them in the oven and go for your run and come back and the kids have breakfast. Because part of the method that we're gonna do today is I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet. We're going to freeze them individually in the freezer, downstairs, the big freezer. And then, you know, tomorrow night, I'll take them out and put them in big Ziploc bags. And you can take them out and do like 4 at a time or 10 or whatever you want to do. But first we're gonna make this recipe. Sausage balls are really easy, but you know me, I'm gonna be fussy about it. It's sausage, cheese, and biscuit. Now, already you're kind of like, your alarm bells are going off. You're like, Sally, you hate biscuit. It's true. It's true. There's no reason for you to use biscuit, and we've gone over this. But the reason is, I'm going to tell you, just for anybody who hasn't seen any of my other videos about it, biscuit is just basically 3 things. It's flour, baking powder, and shelf-stable fat. Now, the shelf-stable fat is what's going to stick to your arteries and kill you at 65. So I love you. That's why I want to tell you, just don't eat biscuit, okay? Because you don't need the shelf-stable fat. Why? Why would you need shelf-stable fat when you're putting it with a bunch of cheese and sausage, right? There's enough fat in there already. It's just for the baking powder. Now, the fix on that for me is I use self-rising flour, which has baking powder in it, right? Okay, so let's get moving. So here are the basic proportions are these. It's like 1 pound of sausage for 1 pound of cheese and 3 cups of flour, and then like a little water to kind of make it stick together. Maybe like 3/4 cup of water, okay? I had 1.5 pounds of sausage because we ate some of it for breakfast. And so I'm doing 1.5 pounds of cheese, and I didn't want to open up another block. So one of the things that you can do, so I used sharp cheddar, extra sharp cheddar. One of the things that you can do is if you have some extra cheese kicking around in the fridge, just use that for your, whatever you need to make up in the 1/2 pound or however you end up. So it's true. I don't know if you can tell, I put a little blue cheese in here and there's some Gruyere in there. The only thing I'll say to you is please don't use, again, see, this is where I'm gonna be fussy. Please don't use pre-shredded cheese for this. Why? Well, we've talked about this before too, right? Pre-shredded cheese has cellulose in it. What's cellulose? It's wood fiber. So it's cheese and sawdust. You don't really need the cellulose. The cellulose is there to keep it from sticking together. And in a situation like this, we want it to stick together. Okay, and also you don't need to eat cellulose. Unless, like, you know, you have problems. Like digestive problems. So basically this is gonna be a really messy operation. So I'm gonna show you a couple things first. First, I'm gonna make a few for the kids for like their brunch with some, you know, on a Silpat. They're great on a Silpat because then like the cheese gets all lacy and it's really nice. And when you cook them from fresh, you cook them at 400 for 12 minutes, okay? Then, while those are going, I'm gonna start making up my little pyramid here, and we'll make a grid of, you know, across, and then we'll put another layer of wax paper, and then we'll kind of nest them in the corner that's made from 4. And this is how we did the turkey meatballs. I don't know if you remember this, but I'll show you what I'm talking about, except we're gonna get really messy. This is the messiest mess. It's like, you know, it's sausage and cheese and flour and water. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this stuff in. So I have 1.5 pounds of sausage, 1.5 pounds of cheese. And what is that with, you know, when you go half of 3 is 1.5. So we're going to do 4.5 cups of flour, of self-rising flour, because the thing that makes them puff is the baking powder, right? So that's 3, and I used my biggest bowl, and it's still now. And why wouldn't I just use, you know, a pound of, you know, do the regular recipe? Well, because this way we'll still have some of these at Christmas, right? This, I mean, it's sort of like it's the fail-proof, you know, sausage balls and hot chocolate. It's like a great little snack. Okay, so now we have this in here, big mound. I'm gonna pour in this water, and that's what makes it sticky. That's what makes it stick together, but that's what makes it disgusting too, and makes it hard for me. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to turn off my phone. I'm gonna have to call in for help from the other room, from the square-eyed YouTube crew. I mean, it's Saturday, right? We suspend all of our rules on Saturday. But yeah, so, I mean, and I'll just tell you, since we already talked about the pesto and the salsa, I made videos of the pesto and the salsa and the applesauce last fall. And if you want to go find those, you can. And oh, looks like the dog's going to get some raw sausage. Whoops. Luckily, it didn't land on my foot. I'm standing here on my tippy toes to get away from it. I'll figure out, because since Instagram's has scrubbed all our titles, I will figure out what I was wearing that day, and I'll post that in the comments. But so the salsa I'm going to can, and the applesauce I'm going to can, and the pesto I'm going to freeze. You know, that's just sort of our fall operation here at the Suburban Farm. You know, there's no point in growing vegetables if you aren't going to use them. And the apples are just, I bought too many, and they're starting to go bad. So before they go bad, we'll turn them in applesauce. And we do that in a slow cooker. So it's going to be a fun rainy day around here for me, I guess. Anyway, okay, so we've got this kind of, it's good and integrated, and you'll find as you go, like you'll start finding little pockets of flour down at the bottom, and you just kind of want to start bringing them in together. Let me see what I meant. So this is what it looks like now, okay? It's like you just want sort of the even distribution of those things. So I'm going to show you how to make the balls and put them on this cookie sheet, and then I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to go. And then I'll post a picture of how we do the, see, it's like so sticky that I mean, that's why we use the Silpat to cook them, and that's why we use wax paper in the freezer. So I'm going to put these on the cookie sheet, or there. And so, yes, so when they're fresh like this, you cook them at 400 for about, 12 minutes, okay? And when they're frozen, you just put them on the Silpat, but I want you to think about, just start them lower, okay? And you can, turn up the heat a little bit as they're going. Start them at like 350 for 10 minutes, okay? And then move on to, you can move it up to 400 for another 10. And you just kind of check them, and you just want them to look, brown and puffy, okay? Like anything else that's good. So, and the balls should be sort of like walnut sized. They always say walnut sized, right? Or golf ball sized. I guess the golf ball's a little bigger than walnut. And as I said, it's a great way to use up kind of bits and bobs of cheese. I don't usually have bits and bobs of cheese anymore. And the kids never notice a little glob of blue cheese in there somewhere. And I think that's it. Yeah. So the method basically with the freezer is the idea and the reason you do them on the cookie sheet in the little pyramids on the wax paper is they don't stick together. If you put them in the, you skip that step and you put them directly in the Ziploc bag when they're, you know, still moist, they end up sticking together. But this way they freeze individually, and it's more like when you get meatballs at the grocery store in the, you know, frozen section or whatever, and they're not, you know, they're flash frozen in the factory. And I'm just babbling here because I'm kind of putting off dealing with my loud faucet on camera one more time. But anyway, let me get this last one down. And, you know, you want them about, you know, you want them kind of separate on the sheet there. I'm going to wash my hands. We're going to attempt this. And then I'm sure what you're going to find very entertaining is seeing the dog trying to get the stuff off the counter. Hold on. He's been very good, actually. I'm watching him. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. I don't think there is. This is just, I mean, I almost hesitated even doing a video of it because, you know, everybody knows how to make sausage balls, right? But, you know, when we're fussy about our biscuit and our cheese, it matters, right? So have a great Saturday. I hope, you know, you're enjoying your nice rainy day here on the East Coast. Bye.